Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So lately there seems to be a lot more emphasis being put on the minimum wage, whether or not it's fair, whether or not it should be raised, and I think that's opening up a lot of discussions right now that I want to dive into a little bit further as someone who's really into personal finance, because we have this video here. It's just titled Surviving on Minimum Wage, and it seems to be a fantastic documentary that shows the firsthand struggles of exactly what's involved. So I think this is going to open up a really interesting discussion. As soon as we hit the like button and subscribe, I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Helps the channel tremendously. And now with that said, let's begin.
So I'm on the hunt. I decided this week I'm going to look for a rich guy so I don't have to. I don't mind if I still have to work. I just don't want to work early.
There we go. Find a rich person. That's always the easiest solution. Just find one. It's like they're hunting for truffles. It's like, oh, if we just find the right one, we could strike it big. In that case, just buy lottery tickets. I think if anything, that way you diversify your chances. It's like finding a rich guy, gambling. Maybe you meet somewhere in the middle.
The longer Amelia goes without finding a better job, the further she slips into credit card debt, and the more she risks losing her house.
I'm underwater on this mortgage. That's my fear, not making enough to be able to keep, the things that I have.
Yeah, that's why it's tough though. Being underwater on a mortgage, as long as you can make the payments, it's justifiable, but beyond that, sometimes I hate to say it, sometimes it's better just to walk away from the home. Depending on how long it's going to take to recover that, just how underwater you are, it's a high risk thing.
I went into work at 6:15, manager didn't show up till 6:45. There was no business. We had 4 cooks, 10 servers, 3 busboys.
That just seems like bad business on the restaurant's part. I mean, why have people come in that early when there's no customers whatsoever and you're paying the staff to be there? Probably staff, by the way, that's relying on tips to make it worth it. Seems like bad business. If any business owner sees that and they see, we're not getting a lot of traffic in the mornings, open later. Make it more exclusive. Look, Chick-fil-A's doing that. They're closed on Sundays. And people love to line up outside of a Chick-fil-A because they're closed one day a week. I never understood the lines. The food's good. It's not that good. I wouldn't wait 20 minutes for Chick-fil-A. Seems to be working for them though. It's closed on Sundays.
If you give your average worker a little more money, they're probably going to be able to pay bills, maybe an extra bill or two, or maybe they'll spend a little bit more. I'm under the impression that it would help businesses if everybody made a little bit more, or maybe they'll go out to eat at a restaurant.
Yeah, that's what the Fed is afraid of though. The Fed is afraid of, okay, businesses pay more, their employees earn more, their employees spend more, and because they spend more, prices are gonna rise because they're spending more money. The demand is there, and now prices rise up, and then we're back to the same spot. That's what a lot of economists worry about. That's the big fear here. But I have to say, I think the real issue with this is that the business is not attracting enough customers to make it worth her time to stay there. And then also she's got to realize that maybe this is not the business to work in.
When I went back to work, it was exactly what I expected. A lot of tension, a lot of people not talking to you. I hate walking into the job because I know there's something going to be said. I know there's something going to be done.
Now, I hate to say it, but it seems to me, and this is, again, my perspective here, that the minimum wage is really meant to be a stepping stone. It's not meant to be something that you stay at for years on end. It's meant to be, you get your foot in the door, and then you could use that as a launching pad to something else. You could make more money, you could prove yourself, you get good experience, you hone your skills. Not to be something to hold on to. I know people have different opinions on that no, you should be able to survive no matter what with a minimum wage. But to me, it seems just like that should be more of like, you could start there, but it shouldn't be the end all be all.
This week I came up to him, I was like, babe, I made Employee of the Month, And he was happy, and then at the same time, I was like, well, what's wrong? And his boss had made him mad. So it kind of brought me down because I'm Employee of the Month, but then you had a bad day at work, so you're not happy like I'm happy.
See, that's just a fundamental relationship problem there. Yes, we could blame the external factors, but at the end of the day, I think he's got to maybe show a little bit more support. And I get it from her perspective too. Like, she just made Employee of the Month. She's in a good mood. He comes back. He's like, oh, I'm in a bad mood because I had a bad day. It's a tough one, but sometimes I feel like, hey, maybe you could put it aside a little bit and celebrate her. She made Employee of the Month. You know what? I'm going to celebrate her being Employee of the Month. I'm proud of it.
6 days ago, Jose and I found out that we had not gotten the house that we wanted. And he told me, let's just get married. I said, what? And he told me, if we're gonna make the purchase of our lives with 2 different last names, I would like for you to carry mine.
There we go. Dave Ramsey would be proud of that. He's vehemently against people buying properties who are not married together, and which I agree with. I think it's a bad idea. You don't buy a property unless you're married. It's such a big commitment. There's so many nuances with buying a house and splitting that and who gets what. If you're married, it's a little bit easier to cut the cord if something were to go awry. But they might also save some money on taxes if they're married. That was kind of where my mind went, is like, oh, let's get married so we can have more money left over after tax.
We'll get $1,500 from there.
Jose asks Elizabeth to move money from his savings account to pay for the rings. They're trying to cover wedding expenses without using up what they've saved for a house.
I hate to say it, but like $1,500 for rings seems like an egregious amount when you're working minimum wage. I have to say it. The difference visually between a ring that's a few $100s and, $1,000, I feel like is very little. You could get like a good, whatever the fake diamonds are, the cubic zirconia, whatever it is. I don't know any gemstones, okay? But it's like, it's the symbol that means something. That's the way I view it. It's like, it's not the cost. It's not how intricate the diamonds are. It's like the thought behind it. Of like, hey, we're going to be together the rest of our lives. Here's a symbol that this represents us as a couple.
You like it?
I do. I love it a lot. Thank you. Wow. So how much would our total be?
We're at $3,131.
No way! $3,100? No! No. Terrible idea. Why would they do that? When they could spend the money on so many other things, they got a kid. Having a roof over their heads would be so much more important than the ring. Get a ring that's a few $100s. Get a used one. It's just the symbol that counts. Put a ring on, few $100, call it a day, save the difference, put it as a down payment on a house.
Are you mad?
No.
I know if you turn that off, you're going to say yes.
No, I'm not mad.
Alright, you're mad at me, frustrated with me over there.
Oh, here's the thing, okay? Maybe it's like, the budget's $1,500, and then she puts on a $3,200 ring and loves it. I could see his frustration there. Like, if the budget's 15, they both talked about 15, and then she goes 32. Can't do that. And then he has to be, the bad guy, say, no, we can't do that one. Gotta do the $1,500 one. I'm assuming that's what's going on here.
I only have enough money to pay for the game.
Honey, I know that. But we're cutting back on a lot of things I want.
Okay.
I'm paying for my own dress. I'm paying for my own things.
They don't have the money for it. I don't get it. See, she's spinning around. Why does he have to apologize on it? They came in with a budget. She went over the budget, and he has to apologize for it. No. Stick with the budget. He should say, hey, honey, I understand you're paying for these things. We can't afford this. If we want to buy our house, we want to do all the things we want to do. You can't afford the $3,000 ring. No. Tell her no. Bad. It's too much money. Double the price. More than double the price.
When anybody would have to drop that much money, if you don't have that much money to spend, it dampers the mood a little bit.
Now every time he sees that ring, he's going to think, what was the pain point that day? What was bad about that day? That ring, he's going to stare at that ring all the time and feel resentful for it.
I earn more money than Jose. So I came up and paid the other half of the ring out of my own personal account.
Seems to be just a bad decision from both ends. He couldn't afford it, fair. But, I don't know. Like, sure, if she pays for it out of pocket, but even then, it's like if they're getting married and they're buying a house together, that's Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, okay? This is over my pay grade here. I tend to side with him. If they came in with a budget, they agreed on a budget, keep the budget. That's the way I see it. But you know what? I don't know. Maybe she wants... Comment your thoughts, though. Let me know what you think.
One time I was working and my patron asked me, hey, what you think about to be manager? I said, me? I said, yes, why not? But I have a problem. I don't speak English.
It seems like a lot of this is really just an attitude thing where it's like, he seems like he has a positive enough attitude where it's like, he's not going to let anything hold him back. Like, this is the type of guy you say, hey, be the manager. He'll be like, yep, I'll figure it out. Don't tell me again. It'll be fine. And he'll make it work.
When I see Hilton working, I know that I can rely on Hilton. I can't teach work ethic, and I can't teach someone to be loyal. English is something that anyone can learn. Tonight, make sure you check the cash.
I'm gonna do it. Everything's gonna be okay.
That's the money on the way.
Dude, that's so true. Work ethic is something that's like either you have it or you don't. I hate to say it, you can never motivate somebody just based on like, hey, a better work ethic. It's got to be there naturally. Unfortunately, that's the thing. If you have the work ethic, everything else falls into place.
Hilton and his girlfriend, Diana Gonzalez, live in a garage in a trailer park with communal bathrooms. Diana is in her second trimester, expecting twins.
It's going to be tough, though, because they're a very high cost of living area, very low income, expecting twins. Feasibly, I don't see how that could financially work out without significant help, because it's just expensive.
Me aburro porque cuando Hilton trabaja, yo lo que hago es nada. Yo sé que Estados Unidos es un país que tiene mucha seguridad y todo, pero me da miedo salir sola.
Yeah, you know what? She can't just be staying at home alone, though. That's the thing. Of course they're not bringing in enough money, because she's not doing anything all day. And the fear to go outside, you gotta get over that. I know easier said than just go outside, just get over it. But that's a serious condition if she's afraid to go outside that she needs to overcome, especially with twins. I would be working so hard right now while she still can.
Elizabeth and Jose live part of the week with her parents.
My dad right now is receiving chemo, so he's unable to work. So I had to move back home, and I paid $1,200 each month for their mortgage.
I mean, it kind of works out for the both of them. She gets a great place to live for probably cheaper than renting her own spot. The parents have some supplemental income. They're able to all see each other. Maybe the parents could watch the kids throughout the day. Like, it seems like the ideal solution, even though she has to drive 60 minutes to and from work.
Anything that you do out there, whether it's touching your face or leaning or anything negative connotations other than this or this, none of this, you know, once you step out there, you're stepping out on stage.
Doesn't seem like she likes that, though. You know what? Some people I just feel like don't vibe with that sort of thing, and that might be her. You know what? Like, sometimes you just gotta swallow your pride, do it for the customer. They're always right. You know, make them, it's all about them. I don't know. It's not for everybody, but sometimes I feel like, hey, it's kind of required.
You know, even at the Union League Club, I felt totally out of place. Even though I was there for 2.5 years and they liked me, I always felt like I didn't quite fit.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's another thing, too, is kind of reevaluate what you really want.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's holding her back. She feels uncomfortable leaving beyond her little bubble there. Where that's what she knows. I think moving beyond that puts her out of her comfort zone. She's anxious, and then she goes right back to where she feels most at home, which is, you know, unfortunately, the job that's not paying that well.
Hilton failed his first attempt at the California Food Safety Exam, a requirement for promotion to junior manager. Hilton's coworkers also failed the test.
Part of that could very well just be the difficulty going from like Spanish to English and not fully understanding the context of the questions. It seems like he's very motivated. So if there's any failure, I think it's probably just a misunderstanding.
No, I'm not pregnant. So.
Not yet.
I love this man, and I love him so much, and I love Aiden for just bringing so much joy to my life, especially with all you guys here.
The kid's just on his phone playing Angry Birds. He has no idea what's going on right now. This kid can't be bothered.
It was a $3,000 wedding, which was unheard of. The rings were the most expensive item. I could have just gone online, on Amazon, or I could have been really frugal about it.
Yeah, I mean, $3,000 ain't bad. But I'm thinking the cost of that ring, that extra like $1,700 that they spent between 15 and 32, I'm just thinking that could be invested.
In the past 2 months, Emilia has applied for more than 4 dozen jobs, and her financial picture looks more desperate than ever.
Maybe I should become a nun. Do nuns smoke?
How is she not getting accepted after 4 dozen jobs? How? At that point, I'd be taking a real hard look at where am I going wrong? What am I doing? How could I improve on this? That seems absurd to apply to that many jobs and not get any.
So this is where you get a really quick opportunity to kind of sell yourself.
See, I don't get it. I mean, I have to, if I tell you up here why I qualify, why do I have to write that down there?
She's too smart for the system. She gets it. It's like, this is stupid. But you know what? It's like, when you're in that position, you just gotta play along with it. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, it's a very challenging life that everyone's living here. But I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comments section. I'll do my best to read as many comments as I can. Also, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe. And don't forget that you could get some free stocks worth all the way up to a few $1,000s. The paid affiliate link down below in the description when you make a deposit. Enjoy. Let me know which free stocks you get. Again, the link is down below in the description. It takes you like 5 minutes. See what stocks you get. Enjoy. Thank you so much, and until next time.